Hey Ash, how you been?
Hey, yeah, doing
Had a
well. How
good
are
day?
you?
I'm doing well, doing well. So previously on, I don't know if we have an official name for this what we're doing here, but previously what we did was we took a step back. We went through setting up my new WSL instance that was Ubuntu to be able to run a WASM component. Um, and then we left off with starting with the Docker file. So today we're going to pick that back up and see how far we can get with that. So let me go ahead and present my window here.
Yes.
Docker file. This one. There we go. So let me know if that font size is okay. Maybe a little bigger.
Think it should be.
Should be good. All right.
Hold on, I'm over here also being like, oh, I gotta like put it to that we're live.
Yeah. So let's step back a little. Step back. What we did previously is we were just setting up a Ubuntu environment to be able to run a WebAssembly component from a demo that you had created, which is over here in source bindings. What would be? Click the right file. That was a WebAssembly a component that was exposed an HTTP endpoint that we could hit, and then it displays some clip yards. So that was the demo that we did. The main purpose of the exercise was be able to go through writing a WebAssembly component. So if you want to look into and learn about the actual writing and what this code here is of the component, that is going to be in the first stream of this series. Right now, what we're going to focus on is how do we kind of codify that environment and put it in a Docker container. We're going to work on that locally for two reasons. One, we can put that into our dev container and kind of automate our setup. So we don't have to go through the same pain of every dev we onboard into this project has to go through what I just went through. And then the other one is we can take the artifact of that and then deploy it to various places. So we could actually deploy that to cloud services, deploy it on Kubernetes, and so forth if we have a container, which is the theory. And we'll see how far we get. Yes. So that's to catch us up. I think we need like a little video clip that says previously on, and then we can, like a TV show. Anyway, so what we have
not just for the audience, but like also for ourselves. Like, what did we do on Monday? It's like,
what did we do? It's been a few days.
Yeah. But wait, to add to what you were saying is like the other thing that's like really useful for like putting I guess like the plan is like put WASM time and like the related tools inside of a container is a lot of folks, they're like, they have existing ways of like running containers like on the operator side. And we're very excited for components, but like we realize that, hey, maybe infrastructure, you may not have component specific like infrastructure set up quite yet. But if you want to like start playing around with it or like seeing like, hey, what can I do, is like putting it inside of a container creates that nice transitional phase where it's like, okay, we're keeping infrastructure the same, but we're gonna see whether we can like start using this a little bit.
Okay, that makes sense. Kind of you got flying cars, but there's no rails for the flying cars. So let's just drive on the road with the flying cars for now. Is that kind of an analogy to use?
I think it checks out. Like I'm not sure, but yes.
Okay. We'll go with it.
Yeah.
So let's go back here. So we were not sure if this is going to completely work yet, but what we tried to do was we wanted to start from a Rust container. So we're using the Rust same version. It's the latest version of Rust, the 178, and then the Buster flavor distribution. So hopefully that has all the Rust, everything that Rust Up did for us when we set it up locally on my WSL. We're going to verify that. Then I'm going to, for now, I'm copying in everything from the repository to the container. Later on, all we really probably need is this WASM file in the end to be able to run. But we can focus on that later. Because then we could, anyway, we'll do that later. The next thing is just setting the working directory. So it's going to change when I go into my container, it's going to change this app folder. Here's the meat of it. So this is everything that I did in my WSL from kind of setting up the operating system. There's packages that we needed from apt-get, and we also need some cargo components. And then the final piece is to put the runtime on the system, which is WASM time. And so we're just using the curl command for that. So that's the Docker container. I was able to get it to run. I think if I rerun it, it'll be pretty fast because it's all cached. Well, that's the run command I want to build.
Yeah, it was like, that's instant. Like, how fast is it?
So fast.
Yeah.
But it does take a while. I haven't changed anything, so it should just say, "Hey, it's good." But if not, it's going to take like 5 minutes to run. But I think it'll be fine. So
Okay.
WASM, I think is what I did. It is what I named it. So
Docker build dot means locally, and then
yep,
-t means
that's the tag or label tag.
oh,
The
okay.
proper term. Yeah, and now I'm
So
not specifying the tag portion of the image name, just the image, and then it's going to assume I want latest.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to take a minute.
And -t, that's just like the local name that you're giving it?
Yes. Yeah, if I wanted to push it to a registry, I'd have to include the registry in front of that and all the good stuff. Yeah, so if we do Docker images, we should see WASM right here.
Nice.
So latest is the tag. Kind of big.
1.7 gigs.
Yeah.
I guess that's Rust for you. I mean, Rust plus LVM plus GCC plus OpenSSL, you know, it's like there's stuff in there. Oh, WASM time as well, you know, it all adds up.
So while that builds, what we could do, I was tinkering with it over here, is you can kind of set it up different. You could take all this and put it into basically make a base image for yourself.
Okay.
That you could pull into another file that actually does the app, right? So this would just basically be a WASM time. If we wanted to call it a WASM time container image, we could do that.
Wait, do we need with banja and all that stuff for like WASM time? To like for a WASM time base image? No,
we
right?
don't, but we do need it for compiling the app.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So that could be on our build image, and then the WASM time could be a separate file.
Yeah. Question. So I'm very, or I like we established this on Monday. Like it's been a minute since I've like done anything Docker related. I don't think I've like ever done multi-stage builds either. But
They're pretty neat.
Is it possible to like with a multi-stage build, do you need to keep the same base image? Is that a constraint? Or do you get to switch that around?
So you usually do something called from scratch. So if you're using a multi-stage build, you can start from whatever. We could start from Rust.
Okay.
Right. We could start from here, but then we're going to tag this step, for lack of a better term, as build. And so all the build steps, such as this, right? Well, ideally, this would actually be in a base image,
right?
And then that would be in from, and then our build steps would just be everything we need to build the binary, the output that was compiled. And then that binary is then copied into another stage, which would be, what would I typically call that? The from scratch. And what from scratch does is it removes all the file systems and leaves just your binary for the container. So that's how you could use the multi-stage for this particular thing.
Okay, but it then still keeps the same base image?
Yeah. So probably the way that I would do this, and if anybody in chat has any suggestions too, please let us know. But the way that I would probably do this is separate this out to be everything we needed to have an image where we could compile the component in. And so that would be a base image that we would maintain that environment. And then we would have our multi-stage build where the other file contains the steps to actually compile the component and then create some kind of Docker image that just has the binary in it and then the WASM runtime.
Yeah.
So
cool. Okay. Thank you for like elaborating. I was like, okay,
curious. I think that would work.
Okay.
But we can try it out. Let's see here. While that builds, let's look at this. We could probably, we don't need this if we're just going to create a container for the environment. So could comment that out. We could start with Rust. And then we wouldn't need WASM time to create the component, right? We just need this.
Correct.
So let's just update this Docker file to be able to compile the component. So if we moved, let's see, would that be the right way to go about it? I think so. So now what would we do? Assuming we've got our environment, what commands would be run to compile? Wasn't it, let me look at my history.
I think it's a cargo component build.
Cargo component build. Do we have to add a target or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Let's see what I did in my history.
Like this will assume the WASM32 WASI preview 1 target, and then build a shim and like make sure that everything's like correctly linked, so that you end up with like a WASI02 component.
Okay. That would, let's see here. Save that. So in this case, we would need to pull in, we're going to make it the build. Because if we set it to the working directory, it would be like running cargo component from right here. Yeah, so that would work. So let's try. I'm wondering how we could get, maybe we should, for the sake of simplicity, like move all this into a base layer. So let's just copy this. Let's move these to here. That WASM time could probably stay here. Make a new base image. Okay, that succeeded.
Cool.
So the one where we could, we'll pause for a second and we'll create a new container with that previous version of this file that I'm looking at here, where it had everything all in one. So if we do Docker run, and I'm going to do the option to remove the container after I exit it, and then -it, and then the name of the container will be, I think it was WASM latest.
Is interactive.
Yeah. So now it spun up a container and put my cell session right inside of that container. So now I can look to make sure WASM time was installed. Yes. And it's there. And then if I look at this, this actually, we already compiled it, so it's got all there. So we could test to see if it runs. Let's see here. WASM time. I think it was serve.
Yes.
Target, debug.
WASM32.
Was it WASM32?
Oh, yeah. Debug.
And then hello, WASM.
Correct.
Okay. Now we won't be able to hit it because I don't have another bash session open on this container. And I don't have any other way to get it from the outside because I haven't exposed anything. But the WASM time in the container is actually running the component. So that's cool. So that's one step. And I'm going to have to switch to water. I feel like I'm talking super fast. All the caffeine.
Oh, that's a coffee mug?
This is water over here.
Okay.
But I've switched to energy drink already.
Oh no!
I've been up for a while. I've been up since like 4:30 my time.
Yeah.
So I already had
believe how many energy drinks I can drink in that time. It's like
I try to limit myself to a coffee and energy drink to keep it in
Okay,
moderation,
okay.
but sometimes not so. Okay,
Man,
so
like
we've
I
got
can't do the sugar and energy drinks. It
this is
kills
zero
me.
sugar,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
sweetened
yeah,
with like stevia and stuff type
yeah.
thing.
Right.
All right. So we know that works. So let's modify this so we don't have to, every time we're trying to iterate on this container, it's not going to trigger the run for the apt-get and take 5 minutes. We're going to leave that as its own stage or own image.
Okay.
So what we can do is just take this new Docker file that I've saved. Yep. So docker build -t. And again, that's I'm just the one in this file. This one up here is elsewhere, so we don't have to worry about that. But -t, and let's call it WASM time, just so we know that it's got, like it's the WASM time environment. And that was pretty fast because it already had an image that was already built for it. So now I can change all the different Docker files. So now let's just make sure that container works. So docker run -rmit WASM time. And we'll check the latest tag because that's what it created. And I just want to make sure WASM time is here. And it is. Okay.
Yay.
So now let's start a new Docker file.
Okay.
And we'll just throw it in.
What's this one for?
This one's going to be for the build stage where we're going to compile the component. And we're just going to call the other one for now so we can separate the setup of the container versus the building stage.
Okay.
Because
build
like
stage.
if you were so if you were to build a Rust app, most of the prerequisite stuff that you need to compile Rust is inside the container Rust 1.78. So we're trying to mimic that. Yeah.
Nice.
So let's just do, I guess we could put it in the source. Doesn't really matter where it goes, but let's put it as a source for now.
Okay.
And we can move it later, just so we know that it's for actually building the app. So what we can do, not using any registers at this point, everything's local. So if we do from WASM time latest, that should work. And then I want to copy the app. So everything in, well, that won't work. We'll have to change them out. Because I want, let's see here, -app or app-docker file. We'll do that because I need to copy in more than just the source code, I would imagine, right? I need the cargo lock. I need the cargo toml to be able to build the component, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll work. I can just specify the file name instead of using the dot, or I can move the other Docker file out for a second. All right. What else do I need? Set the working directory. And then the build component. So I wonder how I can exclude target. Got any ideas? How do you have any examples of some Rust build, like Docker files that build?
So again, I haven't used Docker in like half.
I mean, just like maybe, let's check out the docs. Let's look at the Rust
yeah.
documentation. Rust Docker image. They usually give some examples. Copy ... I suppose the smart thing to do would just be to delete the target folder because we were just going to recompile and create that anyway. So it doesn't need to be there. And you have git ignore for that anyway. So
Yes.
excellent. Okay, so everything else could go in there. So we
I
don't
think
need
so,
to worry
yeah.
about that. Okay. So Docker build run specify Docker file. -f. Okay. Let's try it out. So Docker build -f app Docker file -t, and this could be the what is it called? WASM Clippy?
Yeah.
Like that?
Or
Okay.
I think I call it WASI Clippy,
WASI
but
Clippy.
it's fine.
Okay. We'll see if that works. Docker build. Oh, do I need to use the build X to use the file? Requires exactly one. New. Oh, I know there's a way to do it. Let's see here. That's the same article.
What's the difference between build and build X?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not completely sure. It's a different. I'm going to completely butcher this, but it's a different utility, like CLI utility. Build X has a lot more options to it,
Okay.
and then build has it's much more simpler and user friendly. I know that there's probably a way better explanation. The
Okay.
only difference I really know about is that build X has a bajillion more configurations. You can actually create another like instance of it or a container image of the build X and then specify different parameters for its build. I think that's how it handles like the multi-architecture builds. Is it would, I don't know.
Oh.
That's about as much as I know. So good research point to go back and look. But I know some people I could ask to learn more. So that's good
Yeah.
enough, I guess, for me.
All right. All right. So it's the power user version of build.
Yeah, that's just, I would go with that. I'd go with
Okay.
that. Now, how do we specify the file? Anybody? Oh, we got some comments. Let's see here. Include in Docker ignore. Docker ignore. Oh, I suppose I could put that on one of the file names. Yeah.
Leonardo
Leonardo
was asking
says,
if we're also like going to do any testing with WASI inside of Docker. We could once we have it working.
yeah. Once we have a container that has WASI in there, what would we test per se?
I mean, we could curl it and be like, hey.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely do that. But it's more of just a deployment mechanism because if it works on the Ubuntu instance, it should work in the Ubuntu container, if it works on my WSL.
Mm-hmm. The other thing we could do is run cargo component test, where it's literally like, run the actual test, but maybe that's more like a dev container thing. Or if we have it working as a dev container, you can just like jump into it and like run the test commands, right?
Should be able to.
Okay. There's some
Requires
options.
exactly one Docker build X build. Do I need to do that? Like that? So I need to figure that out. But to save some time, what we'll do is, I think, was it Docker ignore? I don't know if that does anything. That's probably the wrong extension. But then we can rename this to Docker file and try it out. Docker ignore file. I suppose you could add it to the git ignores. Docker ignore. Yeah. Okay. So Docker will not pull it into the image. Oh, okay. So that's in relation to how do I not include the target directory. You can use docker ignore. So here, docker build dot dash t WASI clippy. Load build context. Let's just move this in here. There we go. Run cargo component. We got an error there.
Okay.
So install rust up component. Okay, so we need to do some more changes.
No. We shouldn't have to run Rust format.
Okay.
Oh, generating bindings for hello WASI HTTP source/bindings.rs.
Do we
generating bindings for that? Oh, because the first time we're like running build. Why are we running build?
We're trying to compile the component inside the container.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then we do have to add like Rust format.
Okay.
I thought I'd removed that as a dependency. Wild. Okay, not yet.
Where was the?
It's a cargo component add, or
oh, there it is. I was like hovering over it the
Rust
whole
up
time.
component add. Yeah.
So we'll want to go back to this file and add. Undo that.
Rust up component add.
Oh, I killed my register. Cargo install.
So the command is
rust up. Okay, rust.
Component add Rust format. Rust FMT. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That looks okay.
I hope the Rust image has Rust up support.
Yeah, hopefully it does. I don't know if it does. I guess we could find out.
It might not.
Let's see. I see no mention of Rust up. But we can install that with this.
I mean, yes, theoretically we could, but then it's kind of like we're using the Rust base image, which is just the Rust binary, to then install the Rust package manager on top.
Yeah, we might just start with go to a Ubuntu base at that point. Which we could do.
The real answer here is cargo component build should not require Rust format. That's a silly one, I think.
Another issue to log.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
An issue I have logged I thought was fixed, but apparently somehow it isn't.
What's your Ubuntu container image? Let's switch to the Ubuntu tag, and then we'll just install Rust up, because that gives us everything that we need.
Oh my god. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to join chat. Might disconnect me, but I'll be back in a sec if it is.
Okay, no problem.
Ooh, no. It has not disconnected me. Hell yeah. The little pop-up so I can log in.
Jamie Air 2210, 20. I was looking for 2204. Let's try that. So for this one, let's just do that. Ubuntu 2204. And then we'll run the Rust up shell script right here. Do you know if this has any prompts, the Rust up, that I need to pass yes to or something? Let me run it.
It does have prompts. It'll
Okay.
like ask you to confirm whether it's a default install.
We'll see if that suggestion works.
Let's see.
So Docker run WASM time related. Oh, we got to do. This is how I like to test all my commands too, so I don't have to like muck up my machine. I'll just run a interactive container and go from there. Well, actually, let's do Docker pull, and let's get the Ubuntu 2204.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Instead of like installing all of this, apparently you can wait. No, I saw a -- no rust fmt like flag, but it's only for the new command. I think.
So Docker run -it -it one
package.
Okay, let's see if that works. Curl apps get. Can't locate curl. There we go.
What was the exact error that we got again?
Let me see. Was it over here? So Docker run or Docker build dot, and we wanted this to be WASI Clippy. We'll see.
This was even.
Rust up component add rust fump. That's what it says.
Bindings for hello WASI HTTP source bindings RS. Oh, maybe this is with Bunjan. Okay, I want to track down what is like asking for this, because it should not.
Okay. Take your time. I'll fiddle with this.
Yay. Thank you.
Okay. Rust up. Source. Okay, that does install it silently, so we should be good there. Okay, so now we need to rebuild that file. So if we go into .vs code, Docker WASM time is what we wanted. Docker build. Yeah, WASM time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Found the issue. Sorry. Like this is probably interesting to just me, but in the with Bindgen tool that we've installed that's being leveraged by Cargo Component, that still uses the Rust format. Create. So like do a shell out and be like, hey, after it generates some code, it will, it will like try and format it. And so, we're now going through the hurdles of like trying to install Rust format. What it should be doing is not using Rust format, but using a library specifically designed for like, rather than like using a command line tool, it should be using like a little cargo library or a little Rust library.
Gotcha.
Inlined. Yeah. And one exists specifically for code gen stuff that's very fast, very small, and like doesn't have that type of dependency, but hasn't switched yet. So
Well, these live streams are a GitHub issue goldmine.
yeah. I mean, I'm super tempted to just like go and like make the PR to change that, but that would sidetrack this a little bit.
Might be a worthy one. Who knows? Let's see. So this is going to take a little bit to build, and we can rerun this and see if we can't build our component inside a Docker image. So if we kind of recap, we have one file that sets up the build environment a little bit beyond, because this is actually part of the runtime. So minus that, this and all of this stuff sets up our build environment, very similar to my WSL instance, so we can compile a component. And now we're working on a separate file that is able to take the WASI Clippy source code, put it into the container, and then compile the component for us. And then the next step, once we get past that, would be to figure out how we want to run it. Like where we would put. So we'll probably move the WASM time install into a different step or image, like in the multi-build.
Okay.
Because I don't think you have to use from scratch, or you could use from scratch and then pull in WASM time and the binary. But we've got a couple options.
Okay. What do you think the right one to start with is?
I keep it large, like just let it run in this container here and just see if we can't get it to work, and then we'll expose it through the ports. Okay. But it looks like we got an issue with the rust up. Oh, I know why. Because rust up has to be installed before you can run the rust command.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so let's see. I think we should just move this to another line, because we could do.
Is there? No, there's no rust up Docker file.
So if you do. So run the install, and then run this. Let me get some real estate going here so we can focus in on that. So I'm just going to move that inside where it installs. There. Does that look right to you? We got the two @ symbols, the slash, and then another command. That should work.
I hope so. I've never tried to automate rust up like that.
It's all just Linux or bash commands, so it should be fine. Find out. There might be a good opportunity here to create like a WASI base image, like all this shenanigans that we're doing here. So failed, did not complete successfully. What bind gen didn't. Which one? So it's not liking this block. Let's see if Copilot now. Let's
chain them like that rather than executing separate commands.
Yeah, you can chain them. And then it also hides so all of these are now in a layer, because if you had a run for every single one of these, it would be an additional layer in the container. So having them combined like this condenses them to a single layer of the container image.
Sorry, you cut out there for me. Could you repeat that one more time?
Sure. So having the run stacked like this, where you have multiple, and they're chained with the ands, or you could do pipes or whatever, condenses it to a single layer on the container image. Whereas if because each one of these commands in here creates a new layer, so then it's a lot easier. It's a lot harder to move it around. Makes it
I
bigger and
see.
stuff. But
I see.
what does it not like about this? Failed to process sh-c apt-get.
Did we change anything there?
Did not. I don't think so, unless there's kind of a like white space or something.
Did you use a new base image?
I did. Ubuntu.
Okay. So Rust will not be installed by default.
Correct.
And
so we need to move cargo as well.
Line 18 needs to be like at the top, probably. Or yeah. I assume.
Yeah, that should work. Let's see here. Oops, not that.
Oh no, we're installing curl. Hold on, we're installing curl after that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break up the cargo install into a different
app
until afterwards. So if we just take
and
that's fine. We can separate those out. Let's put them after here. So we could probably just put them in this run. Like that. That should work. And then fix this. Because then we'll have curl. No components are trying to be installed. We'll install. We can actually comment this out for now. Okay. We'll leave it for now, but that's the runtime. But then it'll install Rust up. Rust up will add the component. Then cargo will be able to run because it's part of Rust up. Okay. Good call. Good call.
Okay.
Can't believe it's been 42 minutes already.
Time flies when you're having fun. Or
I think it's fun. I consider it fun.
I
did one stream by myself Tuesday. Wasn't nearly as fun. So I appreciate you being here.
Aw. Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm also like glad. So like I personally, right? I'm not judging anyone else, but myself, I do not enjoy debugging Docker. That's why I don't do it. But I do like the idea of like having the end result, you know, like the usable infrastructure, the actual like image that you get to pull and all that stuff. So for me to just sit here and you're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna like geek away at like the Docker container stuff," I'm like, "Oh, that's great!" Like I just get to like sit here and like enjoy, ask questions. But like, yeah, you're the expert here, so yeah, it's nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, likewise. Explain the component because I don't have any knowledge there, so we get to learn. Oh no, let's see. What do we got now? Run proto HTTPS. What doesn't it like? Rust up not found. Oh, because it needs a new session because Rust up's not going to be in the profile. So you'd have to like source bash RC.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. So I've dual booted my machine this week. And I got Ubuntu installed. So I can, and now I need to read how Linux works. It's been on my list forever. All my knowledge, so this is a funny true story. All my Linux knowledge has come from tinkering with containers.
Oh, that's so fun.
Like all of it. Which is hilarious to me. Because it's definitely working backwards. Anyway, let's see here. Let's we need to move Rust up into a different line. So like right about here. Run. And then
actually I used to daily drive Linux. I was like, I had my like little ThinkPad laptop and like Arch Linux installed.
Yes, awesome.
But at some point, like I tried upgrading something and like everything broke. And I was like, I spent an entire weekend like getting it to work. And I was like, hold on, this is a second job. How about, you know, like I get my weekends back? And that was actually a pretty good decision.
You're on Mac now then? Is that?
Yeah, I ended
happy
up
medium.
I ended up at Mac like through like a 4-year Windows detour, basically. So
Gotcha.
like Mac, Linux, Windows, Mac again. I'm like, yeah, no, this seems fine for now.
I got some good replies on my post on Twitter yesterday. I was kind of sharing my
Mhm.
desktop, the career progression, like operating system progression,
Ah.
progression. There we go. Jeez.
Yeah.
Let me throw a link to it. I got some really cool comments. I got some people that I didn't think would comment on there.
I
It's
missed that
interesting. Like
post.
one was like, who was it? He's a pretty well known in the Kubernetes and Go space. What's the gentleman's name? I'll find it.
Wait, what was the post you posted?
I just sent a link to it. It was just like, what's your operating system progression been? Oh, Darren Shepard. His cracked me up because it was DOS 6, Windows 95 and 98, which I used as a small child,
Mhm.
and then 25 years on Linux. I was
Oh
like, whoa,
wow.
whoa. So yeah, here's a link to that post. But
Oh, nice.
all right,
What
where
was
were we?
mine?
Nice detour here. Rust up not found still. Interesting.
So you sourced it, right?
I wonder if I have to, because each of these are going to be an independent bash session, each run. So
Oh.
because the curl happened and installed Rust up and the one before, it should be reloading
Uh-huh.
the source right here. I mean, I could add a just for fun,
Mm-hmm.
just to see what happens, but it shouldn't have any bearing on it. Find out.
Maybe it's like just like not even installing the profile.
Could be source not found. Let's debug it and say, let's comment. There we go. So here's what I typically do when I'm not sure what's going on is I'll stop it where I think I'm having issues, and then I'll enter into the container at that time. So let's just run, like, see if it'll build and act like it installs Rust up, and then we can log in, start a container, and see what happens and see if it's actually there. And if it's a profile issue or if just maybe the container is not telling us the truth. So let's see, Docker run RMIT WASM. I think this is our WASM time latest. Okay, so Rust up, not found. Source bash. So this command might not be working how I think it is. Error certificate. Oh, okay, that's why.
Oh, certificate error.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do we
what?
need a particular TLS? Wonder why it wouldn't take that. That's the exact command from the website.
It is.
So yeah, error setting certificate file. CA
What does
certificates.
that mean? Is it the dash dash TLS 1.2 that's in
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
No, right?
I believe so.
It's just the protocol. What's the dash S and uppercase dash S? That's what I wonder.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Save the certificate or like I don't know why it needs that. It's wild to me.
Will it tell me in the help? Okay, so dash little s is silent.
Okay.
And big S, don't know.
Don't you have like you've got all the fancy AI tools, right? Like installed?
It's not working right now. I know working.
Damn. I was like, this is the perfect thing. Like, here's an inscrutable, like, we don't know why this is failing. Like,
Let's see, because it's my WSL. I think it's messed up, but
okay.
we'll see if this is. Hello, is it me? Oh, I think it's no worky.
Okay.
Let me copy. Try one more thing. Oh, I was playing around with ChatGPT the other day, and I was like, where on my motherboard are these M2 slots that are supposedly here? And it was like outputting pictures with projected places in like a red square around, because I took a picture of my motherboard and uploaded it, and then it was just trying to pinpoint where they were. It wasn't accurate. It didn't know where they were, but I thought that was just crazy that it could download a file, mark it up, and then send it back to you.
Wow. Fascinating.
Okay, so the SSF is silent, show error, and fail. So make curl fail silently. So we actually don't know what the errors are.
We should maybe remove the little s then, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I guess it did just show us the error.
Yeah, it did still.
Okay.
I'll look up
Curl
this error.
77 error setting certificate file. That seems Googleable. 77.
Reinstall the CA cert. Okay, let's check this out. This is where my no such file. Oh, it doesn't even have a certificate file. We're running the update command up here, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sudo not found, of course, because we are the root user. Okay. Oh, we're missing a certificates package because we switched to Ubuntu. So we don't have the CA certificates package here.
Oh yeah. Hey, that'll do it.
Yep. So we can add that to our package list. Okay, now let's do the curl. Beautiful.
Thanks, Mohammed. That was helpful. Ooh, multiple people helping out. Yeah.
I should look at chat more, and then people would have saved us some pain. Let's see here. So we need to have this install CA certificates. So let's put that in here before the clean. So we just need the package name, right? Yeah. CA certificates. And then do we need the two @ signs after that? Yeah. It needs to look like this, because it's a separate command. We'll see if that works. Oh, the comments, there must have been an update in StreamYard, because now I can see where the comments come from. If they came from LinkedIn or something, that's super helpful. Oh, I wonder if we need the CA certificates and the update CA certificates, like Mohammed said. We'll find out.
It's like kind of like watching like a Zen garden, you know, when the little log files are like scrolling by.
That's a nice way to put it. Let's see. What did it err on? No install. Did not complete successfully.
One, 2, 7.
I don't know if I have this. So the @ symbol. That's a new command. That should be right. I'm just looking at the syntax. I'm wondering if it doesn't need the and.
I don't think it needs the and.
Okay.
Same on line 10.
Line 10.
Oh, right, sorry. Line 11 does need the and. Line 10 does. Yeah. There. Okay. And then we delete it on line 10.
Because that's just another package list.
Exactly. We're adding it to the package list, but apt-get clean is a new command.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate that. See, I need some more bash skills. This is my limitation right here.
Hey.
Too many years in PowerShell, I suppose. Let's see here. So let's give that a try.
Maybe if I spend enough time with you, like my bash knowledge will like come back to me. Start reciting like sed incantations like from back in the day. So you ever done like sed and awk, that kind of stuff?
I very painfully struggled my way through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to actually like kind of know what I was doing like 2015. So it's like, it's far away.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Looks like we got Matt on the call. Thanks, Matt, for joining. Said he was listening to it on the drive.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, so for people who are just joining, we are getting a WebAssembly /Rust build environment going, reproducible inside of Docker. I mean, we have one, but now we're like splitting it up and like trying to make it good.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, as we're watching the logs fly by over here, I'm like on my own screen, separate from here, I'm like stripping like Rust format from WIP BindGen. So it's like, okay, we can like remove the dependency, not have to do the whole like Ubuntu dance that we're like now doing. Hopefully we,
yeah, we could go back to using the Rust image then.
Yeah,
which is a lot lighter.
I hope so. But this is me paying like a code base I'm unfamiliar with, doing a thing that I'm like, I half know how to do while chatting with you. So it's like, let's see if I get this done like in the next like half hour or so.
So let's look at the Docker file. So next we'll need to install oh, and that's funny. He was waiting for the stream to start, but he didn't realize that he hadn't had his headphones plugged into the computer. And so it's been like 40 minutes. I don't know if he just started listening or not, or if they just started listening or not. But
oh, that's hilarious. Also, hey, Lan.
Okay, we're on to WebAssembly install. Then we'll probably have to undo this, but I don't need to do this. I've really got to remember how to do multi-line commenting in Vim. I have it written down somewhere. So all my Vim notes are in here.
Oh, wow.
Physical notebook.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, I just went to I went to the store and I got myself a new one too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We always got to splurge on the notebooks. I did with the bullet journal method for like 5 years, and so that's what really got me hooked on. But now I have like field notes, which are tiny little notebooks that I use for like tracking my workouts or just random stuff. Yeah. I went through a whole management knowledge management phase a couple of years ago. Deep rabbit hole. I won't get into that here.
Yeah. Let's not get into that here, but like off stream, let's get definitely into that because I'm super into that stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Oh, it's good to know. Land does a lot of work on the wet bind gen. So if you have some questions, while you work on that. Let's see. Okay, so we got it to build. Let's look at and see if rust up's on the container. So Docker run rust up. Excellent. So now I need to do. Go ahead.
Sorry. Like I was like still lost in thought with like, hey, hold on. We have a wit bind gen like reviewer in chat. Hold on, maybe we could like land this bench like on no.
Is that the part where it's using the thumped CLI?
Yeah. That's the only part that needs it.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah. There's like no rush.
Let's see. So I think I need to rerun the build so I can get in the components now that rust up is there. Oh, that's running the container. I want to build a container. That's bizarre. Maybe I'm doing something weird. Wasm time latest. Watch this. Rust up component add. Rust thump target is up to date. Interesting.
Okay.
Oh, because it threw an error and it's not going to continue. No, it's just an information. It should still continue. But check this out. If let me make sure I've got it saved.
Okay.
Can anybody double check my ands? Do I need all these here?
Okay, let's see. Yes. All line 20 to 23 is good.
Okay. So now if I do docker build, because the current version doesn't have these commands running, it stops right here. Because I commented these out. So build -t wasm time latest. And it's telling me that rust up cannot be found in cargo install wasm tools. But if I enter into the container, it is indeed there. Rust up.
Okay, wild. Because like you said, the new run command should mean that's a new bash session, which should source the things correctly.
Let's just try that for fun. Rust up not found. Is that the right?
No, that's correct.
Okay. Because I just entered in the container with the previous built version where it stopped right here on line 18, and then I just started the container, and then I was able to run that command. So I'm not quite sure. But what's interesting though is it's telling us that those tools are already there because we're now using Rust up to install Rust and not the image. So we might not even need that.
Yes, I think you're right.
So let's see if the components will install now. Cargo install. Cargo not installed. What?
Yeah, I guess that would be the other side effect. If it can't find rust up, it can't find cargo either. Because like both are installed through the profile.
I wonder why it can't. Because here, let's comment this out.
Stray thought. Like again, like I'm not an expert here, but like we're piping it to sh. Is run would use sh as well, not bash or something. Maybe it's like installing the wrong profile. Like what run does and like what we're doing is a different shell. I don't know.
Okay, when you enter the container, it will resource your bash RC, which may not be the case for runs. Okay, good point. So when I enter it, it definitely creates a new session, but it might not be in between these runs. So
Actually, if you like go into it, look at the bash RC, then look at the path and just use the absolute path.
okay, I wonder if it'll keep it for all session. I'm just curious now. I'm really curious if it's gonna reload. You should add the rust up CMDs and following the same layer as the curl. Okay, let's give that a try.
I'm glad there's people in chat.
Oh, this makes it so nice. Yeah. It's been a minute. Let's see here. So inside the same as the curl CMD for rust up, which would be this one, right? So if I wanted to do that, I would go to the end here and do my @ symbols, right?
Mm-hmm.
And oh, look at that. Export path. I could add it to the path variable. I wonder if that's necessary or not. Let's find out.
Let's find out. It's a pretty good suggestion if this fails.
It makes me want to know what exactly is going on in between the run commands from a bash perspective. Error.
Okay.
What do we get now?
Failed to solve.
Rust up component. Rust up not found still.
Okay.
So maybe we do
source.
Well, this export should maybe work. I don't think it'll fix rust up unless cargo points to rust up.
Yeah, it should. I just checked like which rust up like locally, and it's under /cargo as well.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's running the.
Ooh.
Got a different error.
Could not compile type num. Oh, that's the certificate stuff, isn't it?
Might be. Cert. And I think someone else mentioned in chat that we need to do update CA certs too, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
So
let's give that a shot.
Update. Does that look good?
I think so.
Probably. No, we can remove this one then. Right? Yeah. Because those are just package listings.
Is it? Hold on. Is that what they recommended?
Yeah. Which was it, Mohammed? They said to do CA certificates and update CA certificates. Those are independent packages. I don't know.
I thought that was what do you call it? It was like a command or something.
Oh, I could be misreading it.
To invoke it.
Where did that?
It's like I imagine like CA certificates gets you.
Oh, it's a command. Okay, so
yeah,
you need. I hear you. Where's my @ symbol? There we go. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. No, I was laughing because you did the happy emoji. It was like no happy. I'm looking for and.
I just finished reading Hail Mary. It's so it's the third book in the series by the author who did The Martian.
Okay,
it's a sci-fi book, but I really enjoyed the humor between. So a little bit of a spoiler, but he meets an alien, and then they like learn each other's languages, and just the way that he has the alien interact with him. Like he'll end every question with like the word question because he doesn't understand question mark. or like tone in the question. But yeah, that's kind of what you just mentioned reminded me of that. No smiley. No smiley. Wrong.
Oh, when you said wrong, you did mean like command failed.
Yeah.
The command's
yeah.
still going.
Yeah. No, I was like referring back to the when I was mistyping up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Random GitHub search note that environment path. Okay, let's check that out. Oh, of course it's going to make it difficult. I can't copy the link. Maybe if I go to LinkedIn, I can get the link that Leon sent. There it is. Awesome.
Lan Martin here sharing GPL 3.0 only code. Can we touch this? I don't know. It's probably also fine, but like, yeah.
Okay, so it is export. All right, this is perfect. Did you see? Did you check the GitHub link?
Yeah. Sorry, that's why I was laughing because
okay.
The license for it is like GPL.
Oh, gotcha. Well, if we copy paste from the website and not git clone, is that still?
I hope we're fine. I'm sure. I'm sure we're like fine. We're like not doing anything with this.
So let's look at that example because this will show us how to get. Oh, it's on Arch. wget keys. Maybe we're just missing the environment variables then? You think? Where did it fail this time? We're failing with some certificate stuff. Could not compile libc.
Wait, are we still installing CC? GCC?
Yeah.
Okay. What is this?
This is the cert stuff again. It looks cert related.
Yeah. Okay, but a bunch of things are failing. What if you scroll up? Like, is there anything at the root of that? Oh. Sorry, I meant like just below this section.
Oh, at the very bottom? Well, here, we'll start at the very beginning. So here's the very end of the build failure.
Yeah. I mean the first compilation error.
Just repeat.
So one above.
This is the first.
Yeah. What does that say? Linking with CC failed. Okay.
Yeah.
And then below the like all that stuff. Okay, so it is just like it just looks like cert is linking.
Alt D exit. Linking with CC failed exit 1.
CRTI, that's the userland C runtime stuff, right? Or I mean CRTI. Yeah, that should just exist. What is happening?
We might need some more build tools. I think we need like build essentials.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So here we can do build essentials and libc6 maybe. I don't know.
What? No, libc should be part of that. Hold on.
Is that the same?
Oh, libc. What is libc 6 dev?
That's
I have
something
no
came up
idea.
when I Googled the error. So I have no
Okay.
idea. But maybe build essentials would be enough. But
Like build essential, like when I'm vaguely pattern matching on like stuff I've like done in the past. I don't remember ever installing libc 6. I do remember installing build essentials.
okay, we will comment. We'll just delete it for now.
Is it build essential or build essentials?
Oh, plural or not plural?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Singular.
Okay.
Singular, not plural.
We can look for the certs. If it doesn't, should work. Fingers crossed. This has been a longer road than I was anticipating.
Yes.
All because we need that fumped cargo or Rust fumped.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, I should just fix that. Hold on. I've got like some code, but I haven't got it to work yet. Resolve. Use of undeclared type path buff.
Take a look at that Rust example we sent. Okay, so it's some environment variables first. Rust up target add. What does that do? What does target add do for Rust up? Is that like an architecture or
Yeah,
compile
basically.
target type thing?
Basically, it's architecture. Yeah, you can be like, "Hey, I'd like to add," or it's whatever is in the triple. So you can say, "Hey, I'd like to use nightly Rust for whatever my architecture is."
Okay. So we don't really need that. But this might be helpful. So once we get this built, this will give us everything we need from the base image. And then this would be the build step. And then we could, I wonder how we could get the runtime in, because all we would need in the very end, so we'd need the WASM time, runtime present in our binary, right? Like the compiled component. That's in the end all we need.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, so I was just walking through the various stages. So we have right now we kind of have the runtime environment and the build environment in one container image. So that aside, that's what this file is. Here's essentially going to be our build steps. But then we could make this a multi-stage and then have like from scratch. And I was thinking all we would need there is just the runtime, which is WASM time, and our component file, like compiled component file, and we should be good.
Yes. I mean, if you like want to build like a super quick like image, like one you could do is like create a new Docker file, be like from Alpine or something, and then stick WASM time in there and see what happens.
Yeah, if we have already compiled it on our host,
which we have, right? We can just like put it in there.
I deleted it.
Oh,
it's gone.
Oh no.
I think we're getting close with the Docker file here, though.
Wait, but since it's just WebAssembly, I could just send you my local version, which I've compiled on Mac
You could.
OS.
You could.
And then,
Oh, that's kind of neat. I never
yeah,
really
yeah,
thought
it's all
about
just bytecode, right? It's architecture independent.
that. Yeah.
Want me
No
to?
Darwin.
Yeah,
Darwin bits in
exactly.
there. Okay.
But also happy to like finish this part up because it feels like we're getting pretty close, right?
I think so, yeah. We just
Nice.
do run. What would be a good name for the file? I could recompile it too if we just did a new terminal. That was just this command here, cargo build component. I can just build it on my host and shove it in a different location and just see. So it goes into target, WASM32 WASI, debug, and it's this hello. So let's just fast forward for a second and say we have a Docker file that can compile it, and then we get this thing. So now we want a Docker file that can run it. So Docker, well, from, and let's see here. Kill that. That's still going. Our last version of WASM time does have a working WASM time directory. So if we do Docker run, remove, just make sure WASM time, not WASM time, not found. Maybe I'm using the wrong image. Docker images. Did you happen to see me on? Oh yeah, nice to meet you, Chicken. Chicken Dins, I think is how you pronounce the username. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been live with GPS, but she's doing some awesome stuff.
Wait, GPS is not global positioning satellite?
No. That's the
Okay.
handle for Gwyneth.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. I joined a live stream randomly with her, yeah, about a year ago now. So yeah, it was just kind of like a chat conversation. But
Fun.
it's crazy how people see you just around the world.
Yes.
I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, just like an online friend that we've never met in person, but he was at the PowerShell conference last year, and I haven't been to the PowerShell conference in many years, probably since 2018. But he's like, yeah, the little group of people that I was with just randomly at the conference like brought up your name, and they're like, look, he's doing this and that. And it's like, man, that's crazy that people like are that my name's still in that circle and so forth. It's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's like once you get into like a niche space or like a community, like everyone kind of knows each other. It's like so small.
What blew my mind that blog post, how my name got brought up was a blog post that I wrote probably 10 years ago.
Oh wow.
And so people like at the conference today are still pulling up that article. I wrote one about using credentials, so it's a pretty foundational topic, but like still referencing it. There was like Spiceworks, it's a help desk tool, but it has a community thing. And I wrote an article. They just took them down on the figuring out subnetting because I was studying for my CCNA at the time.
Okay.
And I looked at it, there were comments from like 3 years ago, but I wrote that in 2010, you know? But,
That's awesome. I mean, good call. You wrote it then. If it's like still relevant, like 10 years later, you
well,
know.
it's subnetting, so it's just kind of if you're studying for your CCNA, you got to know it, even though you'll never do it, in your head at work. You'll always use a calculator. You got to know it.
Oh, is that the when you have like an IP address, like the
Yes,
trailing things where you get the?
yeah. You got to break it down into different network spaces and find your host bits, your network bits, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, and a CCNA is a network
Yeah,
administrator?
Cisco Certified Network Administrator. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It took
Nice.
me 3 attempts to get. I failed it twice. Tough test.
Damn.
That's still building. That's impressive. All right. What I was trying to do is find. Oh, and just catching up on the comments there. It's. I hope you're doing well. Also, chicken din. It's a fun username. Let's see here. WASM time. WASM. Let's try WASM. So I'm trying to find the image I use that has WASM time in it. So if we do docker run -rm -it latest. Okay, so WASM has it. So if we come back to this one, we could do from WASM latest. And then copy the binary and then expose. Do you remember what port?
8080.
8080? Okay. And then it'd be hello. WASI. Come on, Copilot. WASI HTTP WASM. Okay, cool. That finished. Are there any? Oh, actually, we have to run the command. The command was WASM time serve, right?
Yes, it is serve.
Okay, where did I see that? Here it is. I have to do CMD. So CMD almost.
Serve.
I spell serve right? I think so.
Yes.
It's those little words like that that just they look weird. You know, you second guess yourself. Let's see here. WASI. I'm not the best speller anyway. I won't lie.
Well, with the magic of automation, you don't have to be either.
I don't have to, yeah. So is this for a work project or just a hobby? Probably a little bit of both, wouldn't you say? But there is definitely a lot of work elements to it that we're trying to figure out, like just to try to sell the story, like how do we get WASM components deployed and around? That's really the narrative that we're trying to figure out. And we've got vague ideas of how to do that, but what these live streams are for is just like what we're doing here, figuring it out. Like what's the pathway to getting in there? And my random detour was, I bet we could put it in a Docker container. And so here we are. So I guess it's a little bit of both, you know, for work and for hobby.
I mean, like our jobs are pretty weird. Like I'd say this is for work in the sense that we're being paid to care about like the user experience. Like, does it work? Does it all work? But if we do it right, then hopefully we can like end up with some useful things like a dev container or here's a minimal WASM time container you can like use to help that transition.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Because it kind of it's a different role, you know, being in advocacy where you kind of get to do both. You know, the community work is work, and it gets, I don't know, it's fun. I enjoy it. Anyway, what was I doing here? Let's see if we can get this to run. So this is kind of the end of the pipeline where we've got an image build environment that can compile the component. And now we have this runtime. So we've got this image, WASM time has, our WASM latest has WASM time in it installed in the container. So it should be able to run this command here, WASM time serve this way, the hello WASI. And then it's going to expose it on 8080. So I should be able to hit from my computer, my host. So Docker run, what's the expose switch for the port? I think it's P. Yeah, here we go. And we'll do the remove to -- name WASI Clippy. And then we'll detach it so I can just go right into my curl. Actually, we'll keep it up and see if it gives me any logs. I'm curious. And then ports, we'll just do 8080 to 8080. So ports 8080 on the container to my 8080 on my host. And then the image is going to be, oh, I need to compile that. Or Docker run that, Docker build. So Docker build -t WASI Clippy. Cargo run component. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. I need to be in run WASI. Awesome. So now let's do the run command. Docker run needs at least one. Oh, I got to remove that's in the wrong spot. Where's the -d for detached? Should go here. Weird. Docker run name. We'll just say Clippy -d-p 8080 to 8080, and then the image we just did was WASI Clippy.
Oh, you missed an I.
Failed to create shim, OCI create, run C create, failed to start container, WASM time, executable file not found in path.
Oh, it's doing the same thing as earlier, where we have installed WASM time. It is added to the profile, but it doesn't know where to source it.
Okay.
Which means you're trying to run the WASM time command.
What if we just do, can we Docker run? Might need to override the endpoint.
I think if you modify it, instead of running WASM time directly, just point at the absolute path.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what happened to where that puts
No,
it?
can you jump into the thing you've just built and then like do which
Yes.
WASM time?
Yep. Let me. This will help. Okay. You said where? Or where is?
Sure.
Okay. It's like that?
Yeah. Let's try that.
Okay. Okay. Build. Web Clippy. Okay.
Wasn't it WASI Clippy?
I think I need a new name. I can't reuse the name. So it's detached. Docker PS. We have it running.
Okay.
So could I curl localhost 8080?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give it some data and it'll like spill back to you.
Which
D.
D? Okay.
Yeah. Woohoo.
So we got it running a Docker container.
Hell yeah.
We did it. It only took us an hour and a half.
Yes.
And I think this just worked for us as well.
Yes.
So that's the version that worked. Let's see if it at all did what it was supposed to. So this image was the WASM time.
I want to say that's probably it for me. I've got to drop.
Okay.
Got
Yeah.
to do
Well,
some other things.
we'll just leave it. We'll pin it right here. So we'll start working on this, the build environment container for next time. So
Yes.
this
Let's
has
do
been
that.
awesome. I appreciate everybody being in chat, all the help with the Docker files and the bash is super helpful. But yeah, we'll let Yash go and then I'll kind of close us out and we'll be back tomorrow or not tomorrow, Monday, Monday morning for me at 9 o'clock. I think it's 4 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
But it'll be on the AKS community channel. That'll be the best way to kind of subscribe. And then it'll be pushed out to LinkedIn and all the other good things when we go live. So YouTube is probably the best place to find us ahead of schedule. But thanks for joining me, Yash. We'll catch you next time.
Looking forward to it.
All right. See you, everybody.